name is Caroline Panessa, and I am currently a senior playing in my final season of Division III hockey. I started playing hockey when I was 7 years old, but I've been playing sports competitively for as long as I can remember. As I began preparing for my final hockey season, I wasn't sure how to feel. My life as I knew it would be over in 4 short months. As I continued to confront my own emotions, I became increasingly haunted by this impending finality and looked to my peers in hopes of gaining further perspective. As I interviewed my fellow senior athletes, the scope widened and their reflections revealed a larger picture of the Division III athlete.
What it means to me to be a Division III athlete is that I get to still play the game that I love while getting a great education, and that's pretty important to me. And I wouldn't trade that for anything else.
What it means to me is just to be playing a sport because I love to play it. You know, I'm not getting paid to play it. I know I'm not gonna go on and be paid. I'm just doing it because I love the game.
As far as what characterizes being a Division III athlete, it's playing for the love of the game, and because it's something that you want to do. You don't get the fancy equipment or recognition or, you know, newspaper articles written about you that a lot of the Division I teams get.
Why are you here? Why are you doing it? You're doing it because you love it, not because it's a chore. So, yeah.
To be a Division III athlete is getting to combine all of my favorite things into one place. So I get to do your athletics, your academics, you have a great social life. It's the culmination of all of the best things that college has to offer. And I don't think you can get that other places and still be an athlete.
And at the collegiate level, what I love about it is you're working with people who are so overly committed in every area of their life. And this is something that they love to do, that they come in the afternoon to practice, and that's the highlight of their day.
A lot of people may not realize the commitment that goes into a D3 sport. In high school, a lot of times people play because they just have always played, or it's something social, or maybe their parents want them to, but I think the choice to play hockey in college is really deliberate, and that makes the whole team a lot more dedicated, and the commitment becomes a lot more intense.
4 years that you're in college, there's so much change. You come in as a freshman and you're right out of high school, you're just a baby, and by the time you're a senior and you graduate, you're looking at going on and doing things that what adults do. So there's just a lot of transformation.
I feel more collectively whole, just going through my college career, getting education, playing athletics, and combining the two into what has become the best 3 years and going on 4 that I've had.
I feel like people overlook D3 athletics very often, but it's like we're just as competitive. We do the exact same things.
On average day, would have about 4 hours of practice between getting to the locker room, working out, getting to the rink, and actually doing practice, and then video sessions and team meetings on top of that.
If there's a game, depending on where the game is, it can be from 5 hours to my whole entire day.
You know, they really expect you to do a lot outside of just being on the practice field and watching film and looking at your scouting reports and things like that.
There's definitely days where you're just stressed out and rattled, and hockey isn't going well, school isn't going well, things like that.
It's hard to balance, and there's been times where I have a homework assignment and it's starting to get around 10 o'clock and I have a game the next day, and maybe don't do my reading or I don't do as good of a job because I want to perform my best the next night, and I think sometimes other areas suffer.
I find myself using every extra minute or 10 minutes that I can find, and just reading a quick extra few pages. And then a lot of my time after that is spent late nights and early mornings trying to finish everything.
It's hard early on, in like freshman, sophomore years, you're kind of getting your feet under you, but after that you kind of figure out times during the day in between classes to sneak some homework in or get it done right after practice is done.
It's tough. Definitely got to be on top of your game as far as time management goes. But it's pretty interesting. During the season, you kind of think, can't wait for the season to be over. I'm going to have so much time to do homework. And then as soon as you don't have that 5 or 6 hour a day commitment, all my motivation to do homework is gone.
So in a couple months, I'll have likely played my last ever hockey game at a competitive level, and the thing I'll miss the most is probably just the camaraderie and the teammates.
And the thing I'm gonna miss the most when my career is over is probably being around the guys. There's nothing like being in the locker room with all your teammates and going through the ups and downs of the season.
I think that at this level, being a team, it means more than maybe like a high school team, or I don't think that you can get the kind of like family we have here outside of your college sport. I don't think I'm gonna find it in the workplace. I don't think I'm gonna find it on a retired women's hockey league. I think that the connections you make are different than the connections you make with the girls on your dorm and the people you meet in class.
When you have a team like that and you're all kind of coming together to accomplish a goal, you really feel that family, that brother or sisterhood or whatever you want to call it. And it's a lot of fun, and I think that's one of the things that people enjoy most about playing athletics is being on that team and being a part of something greater than yourself.
I would seriously consider all of the girls on my team as my sisters, and I think forming that like group of friends and those like serious friendships has really been like the best part about being an athlete.
As a Division III athlete, I mean, we're not playing for lots of fans. I mean, it's a good amount of fans, but not crazy. We're not on TV. We're not getting all sorts of the shoe deals and all the great gear, and but we really just play for each other, and I line up next to some of my best friends out on the field and play hard for them.
My freshman year, I spent a lot of time trying to prove to myself that I was good enough to be here and play at this level, and I got a lot of the older girls. Kind of makes me emotional. A lot of the older girls like sent me really long emails and like reached out to me to really like build my self-esteem. And I don't think in a lot of other areas of life that people take so much time to reach out to people.
A lot of people say that college is the best 4 years of your life because you're never going to be in, one geographic location with as many people that are your age and have similar interests. But that's especially true with athletes, I think, because everyone is so focused on the same goals, whether that's getting homework done or athletic goals, and then on top of that, trying to have some fun too. So I think that's what I'm gonna miss the most.
If I could go back to freshman year and give my freshman self, some piece of advice, it'd probably be to kind of just give it all you got, because you only have 4 years left, and it's going to be over faster than you think.
As cliche as it sounds, like, it really does go by so fast. And if I could go back to freshman year, I would in a heartbeat, just to relive these 4 years.
I don't know that I've had any players that have played for me that have been happy that it's been over, but there definitely is a difference as to how it's handled. And over the last 2 years, I've had a couple of players that it's the season's over and they can't let it go. They can't deal with the fact that they've played their last game.
Like the consistency, just because I've been playing for so long, so not having to go to basketball practice, not training for basketball, I feel like that's gonna be really, really weird. Not looking forward to it. I gotta find another way to like channel my competitive edge, but I feel like that's gonna be the hardest. It's just like not having that routine I've had for 10 and 15 years.
I think it'll be really hard because hockey's been such a huge part of my life for so many years, and to kind of not necessarily close the chapter, but close part of the chapter, I guess, will be really difficult, I think. But I think as time goes on, I'll be okay, and I'll be able to move on and kind of accept that I had a great playing career and that I learned a lot from it, and it was a great experience.
I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing that I'm gonna miss the most. It's kind of like I have had this relationship for 17 years and I'm gonna be dumped in a couple months, and it's just gonna be an adjustment. Like, that's part of who I am, and not having the ability to like ever like compete at a high level with a team that like is all here for the same reason will be probably what I miss the most.